Being asked to babysit 15 children at a wedding is no small responsibility. It requires preparation, patience, and energy. From the outset, this task reflects the high level of trust your family placed in you, believing in your ability to manage a large group of children, keep them entertained, safe, and happy, while ensuring that the event proceeded smoothly. Babysitting even one child for an extended period can be challenging, but managing 15 children, potentially varying in age, temperament, and needs, represents a significant logistical and emotional undertaking. The role goes beyond mere supervision. It involves planning activities to keep the children engaged, coordinating meals or snacks, handling conflicts, and maintaining a safe environment in a setting that is likely unfamiliar. Weddings are busy and unpredictable events, with loud music, large crowds, and constant movement, making the task even more demanding. A babysitter must remain alert at all times, capable of responding to emergencies, accidents, or behavioral issues, while maintaining a positive and calm demeanor. This responsibility also carries a social dimension. The children may come from different families, some of whom you might not know well, and they could have varying levels of attachment or comfort with a babysitter. Ensuring that all children feel included and cared for while respecting their individual personalities and needs is an essential part of the role. That your family entrusted you with this task indicates they saw you as reliable, mature, and capable of handling pressure, recognizing your organizational, problem-solving, and interpersonal skills. Taking on such a responsibility would have required advanced planning, including understanding the wedding schedule, coordinating with parents, and preparing supplies or activities to keep the children engaged. Being asked to babysit 15 children at a wedding was therefore not just about supervision, it was about leadership, initiative, and accountability. In summary, this role demands attentiveness, resilience, creativity, and strong organizational skills, reflecting the trust and confidence your family placed in you and the significant responsibility involved in ensuring both the children and the event went smoothly. When your family entrusted you with this task, it was more than an assignment, it was a profound demonstration of trust. Trust, especially within families, is built on a history of reliability, maturity, and demonstrated competence. By expecting you to take on such a demanding role, your family signaled confidence in your ability to handle not only routine childcare, but also the unexpected challenges of a dynamic, high-stakes environment like a wedding. This trust encompasses several dimensions. First, there is trust in your judgment. Managing a group of children requires quick thinking and decision-making, from resolving minor disputes to addressing safety concerns or unexpected mishaps. Your family believed you could make responsible choices in real time, prioritizing the well-being of all the children without constant supervision, reflecting your ability to stay calm under pressure and maintain composure. Second, there is trust in your reliability. Weddings are structured events with strict schedules, and a capable babysitter allows parents to attend without worrying about their children. By assigning you this task, your family demonstrated faith that you would arrive prepared, fulfill your role, and see it through to completion, even if it required patience, long hours, or handling challenging situations. Third, there is trust in your integrity. Babysitting a large group of children demands honesty, attentiveness, and accountability. Relying on you indicates that your family trusted you to act ethically, follow through on commitments, and communicate openly if problems arose. Finally, this trust is deeply personal, reflecting an emotional confidence that goes beyond skills, a belief that you care for your family, understand the importance of the role, and would act thoughtfully and considerately. Being trusted with such a significant responsibility affirms your character, reliability, and maturity, highlighting your family's recognition of your capabilities and the value they place on your presence and judgment in important moments. In essence, being entrusted with babysitting 15 children at a wedding demonstrates a profound level of family trust, showing their belief in your competence, integrity, and ability to handle responsibility with care and dedication. Managing a large group of children simultaneously is a challenge that goes far beyond ordinary babysitting. Being expected to oversee 15 children at a wedding is a task of considerable scale, requiring advanced planning, multitasking, and the ability to remain calm and organized under pressure. The size of the group alone magnifies every aspect of the responsibility. Each child has unique needs, personalities, and behaviors, and coordinating them all at once demands careful attention to detail and strong leadership skills. The logistical challenges are significant. Weddings are bustling, unpredictable environments, and children may wander off, get restless during long ceremonies, or feel overwhelmed by crowds, noise, and unfamiliar settings. Managing 15 children simultaneously requires ensuring their safety while keeping them engaged and entertained, often through structured activities, games, or quiet tasks. Anticipating potential issues, such as arguments between children, accidental injuries, or sudden emotional needs, and responding promptly and effectively is essential. The scale of the task also places high demands on energy and focus. Each child requires attention at different times, and balancing those needs without showing favoritism or neglect is delicate. Remaining constantly aware of each child's location, behavior, and emotional state while planning ahead for transitions, meals, bathroom breaks, and naps if necessary is critical, as any lapse in attention could have immediate consequences. In addition, managing a large group simultaneously requires strong interpersonal and conflict resolution skills. Children of different ages may have conflicting interests or communication styles, so clear instructions, patience, and consistency in enforcing boundaries are essential. Creativity is also necessary to engage the group as a whole while attending to individual needs, ensuring that all children feel included and cared for. In essence, the sheer scale of managing 15 children at a wedding elevates the responsibility from routine childcare to a complex supervisory role, combining logistical planning, emotional intelligence, leadership, and rapid problem-solving. Successfully navigating such a challenge requires maturity, organization, and resilience, demonstrating why your family placed trust in you and why choosing to step away is a meaningful and carefully considered decision. Changing your plans to opt out of babysitting 15 children at a wedding was a significant decision, particularly given the trust and responsibility your family had placed in you. While it might seem simple at first glance, such a choice often involves careful consideration of personal circumstances, priorities, and the potential impact on others. Deciding to step away from a responsibility of this magnitude requires self-awareness and the courage to acknowledge your limits, an important skill in both personal and professional contexts. Several factors could contribute to this decision. Personal commitments, prior engagements, or unexpected schedule changes may have made fulfilling the babysitting role impractical. Alternatively, you may have assessed the demands of supervising 15 children in a busy wedding environment and realized it could exceed your capacity in terms of physical energy, emotional stamina, or logistical ability. Recognizing that taking on more than you can manage could lead to stress or a negative experience for both you and the children reflects responsibility and foresight rather than avoidance. Opting out also involves communication and transparency. Informing your family about your change in plans is crucial to maintaining trust and minimizing disruption. This requires explaining your reasons clearly and honestly, expressing regret if necessary, and, when possible, helping brainstorm alternative solutions, such as finding another reliable babysitter. Effective communication demonstrates respect for the family's needs while asserting your boundaries constructively. Furthermore, changing plans can have ripple effects. Your family may need to quickly rearrange childcare, adjust wedding logistics, or divide responsibilities differently. Acknowledging these impacts shows an understanding of the broader implications and encourages a solution-oriented mindset. Ultimately, deciding not to babysit underscores the importance of self-care, realistic planning, and ethical decision-making. Responsibility is not just about saying yes to every request, but about evaluating your ability to fulfill commitments effectively. Making such a choice thoughtfully rather than impulsively reflects maturity, self-respect, and the ability to navigate complex social dynamics. In conclusion, changing your plans to opt out of babysitting 15 children at a wedding is a decision that balances personal limitations, responsibility to others, and ethical communication, demonstrating that true responsibility involves both commitment and honest assessment of what one can realistically achieve. Choosing not to babysit 15 children at a wedding can stem from a variety of thoughtful and legitimate reasons. One primary factor could be personal priorities. Everyone has commitments, responsibilities, and goals outside of family expectations, and sometimes these priorities take precedence. Perhaps they were academic, professional, or personal obligations that required your attention, making it difficult to dedicate the time and energy necessary to care for a large group of children. Recognizing these priorities and honoring them reflects maturity and self-awareness, as it shows you are considering your overall responsibilities rather than overcommitting yourself. Scheduling conflicts could also play a major role. Weddings are typically full-day events with unpredictable timelines, and coordinating childcare for 15 children is a time-intensive task. If your existing plans or obligations overlapped with the wedding schedule, you may have found it impossible to commit fully. Opting out in this context is a practical decision that prevents overextension and ensures you can meet your other commitments effectively, rather than trying to split your attention between incompatible responsibilities. Another important factor could be the overwhelming nature of the task itself. Babysitting a large group of children requires significant energy, patience, and logistical planning. For some, the thought of managing 15 children simultaneously, each with different needs and personalities, in a busy and potentially chaotic wedding environment, can feel daunting. Recognizing that this responsibility might exceed your current capacity is not a weakness. It is a demonstration of insight and responsibility. It shows that you are aware of your limits and are making a choice that is sustainable and respectful to both yourself and the children involved. Additionally, emotional or mental well-being may influence such a decision. Large-scale childcare in a high-pressure environment can be stressful, and prioritizing your own well-being is essential. By choosing not to take on the task, you avoid potential burnout or negative experiences, allowing you to approach your responsibilities and relationships in a healthier, more effective way. Ultimately, the decision to step away from babysitting 15 children at the wedding reflects a thoughtful evaluation of personal priorities, scheduling realities, and the demands of the task. It demonstrates self-awareness, foresight, and a balanced approach to responsibility, emphasizing that careful consideration and honest judgment are key in managing commitments. When you decided to change your plans and step away from babysitting 15 children at the wedding, the impact on your family was immediate and significant. The family had relied on you to take on a major responsibility, and your withdrawal meant that they needed to quickly identify an alternative solution. Managing the childcare for such a large group is not something that can be easily delegated at the last minute, and this created a sense of urgency for your family to reorganize and ensure the children's safety and engagement during the event. The logistical ramifications of your decision would have been considerable. Your family may have had to contact other relatives, friends, or professional babysitters, coordinating schedules and responsibilities in a short time frame. They also had to account for the varying needs of the children. Some might have required more supervision, others might have had dietary restrictions, and some may have needed help with routines like napping or bathroom breaks. Ensuring that all these details were addressed without your assistance would have been challenging, emphasizing the central role you were initially expected to play. Beyond the practical aspects, your decision may have also had an emotional impact on your family. They had placed their trust in you, confident in your ability to manage the children effectively. When plans change, it can create stress, frustration, or concern as they work to ensure the children are cared for properly. Your family would have had to quickly reassess the situation, redistribute responsibilities, and adapt to a new plan, all while managing the demands and excitement of a wedding. However, your decision also provides an important lesson in flexibility and problem solving for the family. While it may have caused short-term disruption, it also encouraged them to explore alternative arrangements and highlighted the importance of planning for contingencies. Families often rely on each other for support, but recognizing that plans can change helps everyone develop resilience and adaptability. In the end, your choice had a ripple effect, emphasizing the interconnectedness of responsibilities within a family setting. It reinforced that major tasks like caring for 15 children at a wedding require careful coordination, and that changes in plans must be managed thoughtfully. While your withdrawal may have caused temporary stress or required quick adjustments, it also demonstrated the value of clear communication, understanding, and mutual respect within the family structure. Choosing not to babysit 15 children at a wedding was a significant decision, and communicating that choice effectively to your family was a crucial step in maintaining trust and understanding. Honest and clear communication is essential in situations where expectations are high and responsibilities are significant. By explaining your reasons thoughtfully, you not only convey respect for your family's needs, but also demonstrate maturity and accountability. This communication likely required careful consideration of both the content and the tone of your message to ensure it was received constructively. When conveying such a decision, it is important to provide context and reasoning. Your family needed to understand why you were stepping away from the responsibility, whether it was due to scheduling conflicts, personal priorities, the overwhelming nature of the task, or a combination of these factors. Offering a transparent explanation shows that you did not make the decision lightly and that you are aware of the impact it may have on them. It also prevents misunderstandings, speculation, or feelings of disappointment that could arise if the reasoning were unclear or perceived as avoidable. Tone and delivery play a key role in effective communication. Approaching the conversation with empathy and respect acknowledges the trust your family placed in you and the inconvenience your decision might cause. Expressing gratitude for their confidence in your abilities and regret for any disruption caused can help mitigate potential tension. By balancing honesty with consideration, you ensure that the conversation is constructive rather than confrontational, preserving both your relationship and your family's confidence in your judgment. Communication in this context also involves offering solutions or alternatives whenever possible. Even if you could not fulfill the babysitting role, discussing potential options, such as suggesting another family member, friend, or professional caregiver, demonstrates responsibility and a commitment to helping resolve the situation. This proactive approach reflects leadership and problem-solving skills, reinforcing your reliability even in the face of change. Ultimately, effectively communicating your decision reinforces the importance of transparency, empathy, and respect within family dynamics. It transforms what could have been a simple refusal into a thoughtful dialogue, helping your family understand your perspective while preserving trust and maintaining harmony. In challenging situations, strong communication not only explains decisions, but also strengthens relationships and encourages mutual understanding, ensuring that both personal boundaries and family expectations are respected. Deciding not to take on the role of babysitting 15 children at a wedding also required a careful assessment of your own abilities and limits. Responsibility is often viewed as the willingness to accept tasks, but true responsibility also involves understanding when a task may exceed your capacity. By evaluating your energy, skills, and resources realistically, you demonstrated self-awareness, a key component of maturity, and the honesty to acknowledge that taking on the task could have led to stress or ineffective supervision. Assessing responsibility in this context involves several factors. First, there's the practical aspect. Managing a large group of children requires physical stamina, emotional resilience, and strong organizational skills. Overestimating one's ability to handle such a demanding role could result in mistakes, accidents, or a chaotic environment for the children. By recognizing your own limits, you prioritized safety and well-being for both yourself and the children, showing that responsibility is not simply about saying yes, but about evaluating what can realistically be achieved. Second, responsibility assessment requires emotional intelligence. Babysitting 15 children simultaneously involves patience, adaptability, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. Recognizing that this situation could be overwhelming shows that you are aware of your emotional bandwidth and can make decisions to prevent burnout or frustration. This self-awareness reflects honesty with yourself and your family, signaling that you value quality and care over mere presence. Third, this assessment reflects ethical responsibility. Taking on a task that exceeds your capacity could lead to neglect or accidents, impacting the safety and well-being of others. By stepping back, you demonstrated a commitment to doing what is right, rather than attempting to fulfill a duty inadequately. This honesty and foresight preserve trust and show that responsibility involves both commitment and discernment. Finally, assessing your limits reinforces personal growth. It requires reflection, critical thinking, and the courage to make a choice that may disappoint others while still being the most appropriate action. This balance between self-respect and consideration for others is a hallmark of mature decision-making. In conclusion, responsibility assessment is about more than accepting duties. It is about understanding one's strengths, limitations, and the consequences of one's actions. By recognizing your limits and choosing not to babysit 15 children at a wedding, you demonstrated self-awareness, honesty, and ethical judgment, all of which are essential components of true responsibility. Babysitting 15 children at a wedding is not simply a matter of supervision. It involves navigating complex event dynamics that make the task particularly challenging. Weddings are high-energy events with constantly changing schedules, multiple locations, and a variety of activities, all of which create an environment that requires careful coordination and foresight. Successfully managing children in this setting demands not only patience and attentiveness, but also strategic planning to anticipate potential challenges before they arise. One of the key aspects of event dynamics is the unpredictability inherent in weddings. Ceremonies, receptions, photo sessions, and dances occur at scheduled times, but delays and surprises are common. Children may become restless during long waits, distracted by new surroundings, or overwhelmed by the noise and activity. A babysitter in this environment must be adaptable, ready to change plans on the fly, and able to create engaging activities that keep the children occupied while minimizing disruption to the event. This requires both creativity and logistical skill, as one must manage multiple children with varying interests and energy levels simultaneously. Another consideration is the spatial and social complexity of the event. Weddings often take place in large venues with multiple rooms, outdoor areas, or even multi-level settings, which increases the difficulty of monitoring all children effectively. Ensuring their safety involves constant vigilance, coordination of movements, and clear rules for boundaries. In addition, children may interact with other guests, some of whom may be unfamiliar, requiring guidance and supervision to maintain safety and positive behavior. Timing is also a critical factor. Meals, snacks, bathroom breaks, and transitions between activities must be carefully scheduled to prevent conflicts and minimize stress. Coordinating 15 children in a way that aligns with the wedding itinerary while keeping them comfortable and happy is a demanding task that requires organizational skills and advanced preparation. In essence, the logistics of babysitting at a wedding extend beyond typical childcare responsibilities. It combines elements of crowd management, event coordination, and dynamic problem solving, all while maintaining a calm and positive demeanor. The event's energy, unpredictability, and scale amplify the demands on the babysitter, making it clear why this role was both important and challenging. Successfully navigating these event dynamics requires a combination of foresight, adaptability, and leadership. Recognizing the complexity involved highlights why choosing to step back from this responsibility was a thoughtful and responsible decision, reflecting careful assessment and respect for both your own limits and the children's well-being. Choosing to change your plans and step away from babysitting 15 children at a wedding is ultimately an exercise in personal choice, highlighting the significance of setting boundaries and making decisions that reflect your priorities, limits, and well-being. While responsibility often comes with expectations from others, true maturity involves recognizing when a task may not be feasible or healthy to undertake, and making a conscious choice based on that assessment. This decision illustrates that personal boundaries are not only acceptable, but necessary for maintaining balance in life. Personal boundaries are a form of self-respect. They allow you to understand your limits in terms of time, energy, and emotional capacity. Babysitting a large group of children in a busy, unpredictable environment like a wedding would demand considerable attention, stamina, and patience. By choosing to step back, you acknowledged your own limitations and prioritized your ability to perform effectively and sustainably. This choice demonstrates that responsibility does not mean overextending yourself or compromising your well-being. It means making thoughtful decisions about what you can realistically manage. Decision-making in this context also reflects critical thinking and foresight. It requires evaluating potential outcomes, considering the impact on both yourself and others, and weighing the pros and cons of different options. Opting out of babysitting was not a casual decision, but a considered one, taking into account the challenges of the task, your personal circumstances, and the needs of the family. This shows that responsible decision-making involves reflection, analysis, and honesty, rather than simply complying with expectations. Moreover, exercising personal choice in this situation reinforces the importance of communication and respect in relationships. By explaining your decision and reasoning to your family, you maintain trust and transparency, showing that making a personal choice does not mean disregarding the needs of others. It emphasizes that personal agency and family responsibilities can coexist when handled thoughtfully and respectfully. Finally, changing plans underscores a broader life lesson, the value of autonomy in navigating responsibilities. Personal choice allows individuals to maintain balance, protect their mental and emotional health, and approach commitments with clarity and intention. Recognizing when to say no is a sign of strength, not weakness, and it cultivates a sense of empowerment, self-awareness, and confidence in one's judgment. In conclusion, stepping back from babysitting 15 children at a wedding highlights the importance of personal boundaries and thoughtful decision-making. It reflects self-respect, critical thinking, and the ability to navigate responsibilities responsibly while maintaining balance and well-being. So, friends, today's story teaches us that sometimes saying no is actually a responsible and mature decision. If you enjoyed this story and feel it gave you insights into setting boundaries and making thoughtful choices, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you want to hear more inspiring stories and life lessons, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss an update. Also, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. When was a time in your life that you had to say yes or no to a big responsibility, and what did you learn from that experience? We can't wait to read your stories.